Um, my name's David Malebranche. I am a black same-gender loving man. I am a physician. I am an activist. I am a writer. I am a traveler. I am a fun-loving spirit. Um, what it means to me to be a black same-gender loving man in 2017 is almost that you have to be on all the time. Um, you have to be aware of the pressures from issues of racism. You have to be aware and attuned to the pressures due to sexual prejudice or homophobia. And yeah, I would say those are kind of the major things that it means. Um, but I think, in spite of all that, a lot of it's about our resilience and about what's good about us and about what we're doing creatively, how innovative we are, what bright spirits we are. And so, in days and times in 2017, where we are obviously a population that's not heralded, that's not often affirmed, that's not often upheld in high esteem, I think the one thing that comes out to me is that we have to be the ones to lift each other up, and we have to be the ones to love ourselves. So, when you ask me what it means to be a black same-gender loving man in 2017, I guess it means to thrive.
This question.
I mean, it's exhausting when you think about the narratives that most likely need to be countered, particularly about black same-gender loving men. I mean, I think people forget, given what went on this past weekend at Black Gay Pride and them shutting down all the clubs. To me, that was more of a racial thing. That's not a gay thing. That's not a sexual orientation thing. So, it's just hard for us to have to deal with that. And those are the narratives we have to counteract all the time. I just saw the football player Michael Bennett just got assaulted by some police officers in Las Vegas, and he released some of the film that was with that. So I think, the counter narrative is that we're not scary people. The counter narrative I'd like to put out there is that we're not different from anybody else. We're not trying to do anything different. We're not trying to steal. We're not trying to get over on anybody else. We're just trying to live our lives. So I don't want to. I think about counter narratives, and a lot of times it makes me think about just what I want to put forth. So I don't try to consciously think about what counter narrative. I just want to put out my narrative. And if it happens to be counter to everything that you expect me to be, then so be it. But I just want to be myself. So I want to tell the most affirming stories, the most positive stories, the resilient stories, the stories that show how we glow, how we shine, how we excel, how we are the strong ones in all our families and in our workspaces. Those are the stories that I want to hear. And if that's a counter narrative to everything else, that's just my narrative. That's just the narrative I think we should be telling as same gender loving men. But if it's counter to what the rest of the world thinks of us, then so be it.
Um,
What brings me joy, horror movies brings me joy. Traveling brings me joy. Riding my bike, hanging out with friends and family. Um, Enjoying seeing my parents get older. Even though I don't like to see what's going on with their bodies breaking down and how illness takes over some of the parts of their lives and how it stresses them out. But seeing them get older, and my parents are going to be celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary next month. So when I think about some of the simple things that bring me joy, that's going to bring me joy because they're going to be renewing their vows. Working at Morehouse School of Medicine brings me joy. Doing HIV work, doing sexual health work, working in corrections, working in student health, working with the counter narrative, working with Johnny Cornegay and Charles Stevens. That gives me joy. Being mentored and mentoring other people gives me joy. Being by myself and reclaiming my time brings me joy. So we can talk about that as well. But there are a lot of things that bring me joy, and I'll bring it back to horror movies because they tend to bring me joy more often than anything else, which I don't know what that says about me, but it's what it is.